My name is Joshua Appelt. I am the Director of Technology and Communications from ICUBA, and I want to welcome all of you to our first uh, well-being information session that we are promptly going to rename. It looks like a tie, not a tie, but it looks like Wellness Matters is going to take over. I'll leave this up while I continue introducing Aaron. Our esteemed presenter for today is ICUBA's best resource for living and Ronina's favorite brand partner, Aaron Alvarez from Aetna's Resources for Living. And he's going to talk to you about all of the benefits that are available through the program. And on that note, I'm going to end this poll and stop talking and let Aaron take over. Aaron?
Thanks, Josh, and thank you guys very much for carving out some time today to chat through and learn more about the Resources for Living program. As Josh mentioned, Aaron Alvarez, I am your account executive over the program, and look forward to providing you guys with some insight into program capabilities and some functions as to how Resources for Living can support you. I'll start by saying, whoever came up with the term or the name of the organization, Resources for Living, to as the employee assistance program was having a great day, because that's truly what we're here for. So really to jump right in, really Resources for Living is really, we're here to be a starting place for you to address any kind of personal issues or needs. We are a cost-free avenue to provide any kind of assistance or support that you would need within the scope of our offering. And as you'll see in upcoming slides, the breadth of offering is quite broad. When we say it is cost-free, we truly mean that there is no fees associated with our program. Those costs are associated with your employer. So they're paying a fee for you to have access to the program. And the program, at a very high level, and we'll dive into the detail, includes counseling services, work-life assistance, legal and financial services, and much, much more. So I think the other important piece to call out here is services are completely confidential. Any need that you call Resources for Living with remains confidential. Now, there are a couple exceptions to that. We will have to breach confidentiality where required by law. So any kinds of threat of harm to self or others would require us to breach that confidentiality and escalate accordingly. But those instances are certainly few and far between. So you can rest assured that when calling Resources for Living, your needs remain within our organization. And are not, kind of shared more broadly. So with that, from an eligibility perspective, you as an employee are eligible from day one of hire, whether you are a full-time employee at your school or part-time or full-time. The benefit also extends into your household. So anyone truly living under your roof has access to the program. They do not need to be enrolled in medical. They don't have to be enrolled in any kind of insurance, right? So this program is really kind of insurance agnostic in that simply by the nature of you being employed at the school that you work at, you and your family have access to this benefit. When we say household, we truly mean anyone living under your roof. So if you have a cousin who's fallen on hard times and is sleeping on your couch for a couple weeks and they need mental health support or legal or financial support, they would have access to the program. If your mother-in-law has moved in with you, she would have access to the program. Again, there's no bearing on relationship for the individual that's living in your home, but the benefit is available to dependents living outside of the home who are under the age of 26. Really, all that we need from you when engaging with with our operations is to kind of let us know that you are part of the ICUBA organization, or even name your school, and we will be able to provide you with the appropriate care for whatever your need may be. As mentioned, kind of at the top of the call, we do cast a broad net as far as what reasons you could call resources for a living. So we're here to support any kind of emotional needs that you may have, whether that be stress or grief or anxiety or depression, or even thoughts of suicide. We're also here to support your self-improvement, whether that is you know in the workplace or personally. We can help you with goal setting and provide you with the appropriate materials to grow as an individual. We're also able to support your relationship needs, whether that be with your spouse or significant other, with your extended family, or even with your children. Um, we're also here to support your personal growth, whether that's on the health and wellness front, or finding work life balance, or dealing with post traumatic stress. I also mentioned support in the workplace. So if you're having any conflicts at work that you need to talk to somebody through, issues with your job, looking for a career advancement advice, we're here to support that as well. We have legal and financial services available through the benefit as well, which we'll dive into. And then we can also help with any kind of addiction needs, whether that be alcohol, drugs, gambling, so on and so forth. So again, really the front door to meet any kind of needs that you may have. So the primary benefit that we're looking at here through Resources for a Living is, and what most folks think of first when they think of an EAP or employee assistance program, is your counseling benefit. So you do today have access to 6 free counseling sessions. That is per issue per year. So life throws us curveballs. Sometimes we need to talk to somebody about what's going on in our lives, whether that's personally or professionally. Resources for Living, again, is that confidential resource for you to start down that mental well-being journey. I am pleased to share that effective April 1st, we are increasing the session model to 8 sessions per issue per year. So again, 6 sessions as of today, but come April, we will be increasing that session model for y'all. And again, the benefit extends into your household. So if you have loved ones that may need support with stress, anxiety, depression, they would have access. Really, we think of the EAP as truly being the front door to your well-being journey. Our goal too is to meet you where you are in your mental well-being, to meet your mental well-being needs. So counseling can be provided by phone. It can be provided in person or virtually. And to quickly hit on the virtual options, we do have a relationship with Talkspace. Talkspace is a texting platform. It is essentially, you're not texting like from your iPhone, direct messaging, but they have an app that you would download. It has bank level encrypted software, so all of your conversations with your therapist via chat are available. Available text message are secure there. Through Talkspace, you also have availability to chat with your counselor, like via FaceTime or send video messaging. If you do choose to use the televideo function, those 6 sessions via chat are essentially equal to a week of text messaging. But if you do elect the televideo session, that would count as 1 session. So just want you to be mindful there. So again, our goal is to meet you where you are. If you're comfortable texting about a need, this is certainly a great capability, but we do have those more traditional face-to-face and telephonic capabilities in place for you as well. From a legal and financial perspective, you do have access to 30-minute consultations per issue per year with an attorney in your local area or a financial coach. Just again, depending on your need, won't spend a ton of time on the services, but we're truly able to meet your need with whatever the consultation would entail. Should you need additional services beyond that 30-minute consultation, there is a reduced rate provided to you for future engagement. Lastly, I'll mention from an identity theft perspective, God forbid your identity is compromised. If that is the case, we do have a 60-minute remediation resolution available to you as well through the Resources for Living program. You do have the capability of producing an online will through Resources for Living. If that's something that is of need to you, you would just simply log into resourcesforliving.com. We'll go through how to access the program later in the presentation here. But again, for a quick glance, you do have capability to create an online will. A little bit of inside baseball. If you do elect to create a will online through our program, I would highly recommend you scheduling a half hour, that free half hour with one of our legal partners here through the legal benefit that we discussed on the last page, to have them really review the online will, make sure that you have filled it out kind of appropriately for what your intentions were. So again, great way to maximize the benefit. Daily life assistance. So this offering is certainly one of my favorites, and it's often one that is underutilized and kind of overlooked. So kind of think of the daily life assistance, the work-life program, kind of like a concierge program. We all have a to-do list of responsibilities that we need to get done in our personal lives that we can't necessarily focus on while we are at school, right? Whether that's because we are focused on our students or in an administrative role. But we all have that to-do list of, man, I really need to get the fence repaired, or I need to have somebody come look at the house for termites, or Christmas break is upon us, and I'm going to be working, but I need to find some care programs for my children. Just to name some broad-based ideas here. Resources for Living. We have a dedicated team in our work life, daily life assistance, kind of group within our operation, who are devoted to doing any of the front end research that you would spend hours researching. So again, whether it's finding somebody to do an assessment on your roof, or to mend the fence, or a new landscaper, or to do to find a summer camp for your kids, after school care programs, research grants, or colleges, if you need temporary housing or food assistance. Resources for Living, again, is in place to provide any kind of research that you would need. Giving my own personal example, I have two daughters. They're 10 and 7. They started playing basketball about 2 years ago. Leading into the summer, they wanted to go to basketball camp. So rather than my wife and I sitting around, the family room after the girls went to bed to do the research on camps in the Tampa Bay area, I called Resources for Living. They did the research for me. So it was, we have, camps at the YMCA available for your daughters. Your camps at the University of Tampa actually came up too. And it's beyond just like a cursory Google search. Like, they are investigating on your behalf and making sure that whatever they're researching on your behalf is a viable option. So they were able to tell me that, this camp was available. There were still open slots. So that way it wasn't, just a list, and, we're spinning our wheels, kind of churning and burning down the list. So definitely a great benefit. And hope that you guys take advantage of that service.
Aaron, could I
Yes, sir.
jump in for a quick question?
Please, yes.
We got a couple of folks ask in the chat about the best way to access the the consultative services and
Yeah.
the will prep. Is it better to call in to Resources for Living or to log into the portal and create a personal account so that you can start that stuff from the website?
Yeah, so for the online will, let me back up to it. For the online will, I think that the easiest way to go about accessing it is directly through resourcesforliving.com. If you want to engage with an attorney, um, that would that would be the phone call from my perspective. So the online will, you just log into resourcesforliving.com, click over click into the legal tab, and then from there it will kind of guide you to the online will. You'll select the state of residence, which is more than likely Florida, and then it will take you to the form for you to complete. Again, as I mentioned, the insider baseball, if you want to engage with an attorney to have them review that document, that's where I would say engage with our team. They will get you in touch with our partners to find an attorney.
And for the personal login, just a quick follow up, and I don't
Yeah.
mean to sideline, but with the personal login, it's not attached to anything like a medical ID number or a behavioral health
No.
ID number. Perfect.
No, absolutely not. So again, the Resources for Living program, we operate under the notion of presumptive eligibility. So if you say that you work for a participating member school, we will provide care. We aren't tracking employees. We aren't tracking your family members. If you say that you are that you're with the organization that you say you're with, we're going to provide you with said support. So, and just to touch on that from an access perspective, um, it is not a requirement for you to create a personalized username and password. You can always use ICUBA as the username, and the phone number as the password whenever you log in. If you do choose to create the personalized experience by creating your own username and password with our launch of our new website, the website is quote unquote smart, in that by creating a personalized account, it will begin to tailor um, your experience to your needs, right? So if an individual is accessing the website to create a personal account, and everything that they're researching and looking at from a content perspective centers around stress and relationships. The content of the website will begin to kind of morph to meet their needs, where
That's cool.
the
So it
user experience, yeah, the
curates
user
based on
experience
your.
caters to you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just to since we're kind of talking about the website, the user experience, the what we have on the screen kind of gives you a general outline of how the website is structured. We do have a section dedicated to mental well-being, where you can find information on stress and anxiety, trauma, grief and loss, self-improvement, mental health conditions, and as well as counseling options. We have life and relationships, where you can dive into significant other relationships, that with your children, parenting needs. We also have an area dedicated to senior care, work-life balance, under life and relationships, where you will also find access to our discount center, and as well as any kind of work-life needs. Legal and financial would be under that life and relationship area. We also have an area dedicated to workplace, so dealing with difficult situations, DEI, working through change. And this is also where you'll find access to the Leader Center for any leaders on the call. And then we also have an area dedicated to resources. And this is where you'll find webinars, whether they are upcoming live webinars, whether it's recorded webinars that we have kind of in our catalog. The beauty of our website is we're really geared, the website gears and caters to how you want to and how you're comfortable and best at consuming information. So there's print material available, there are podcasts available, there are webinars available, there's videos. So however you want to consume information on your mental well-being, there's certainly a resource on the website for you. Mind Companion Self-Care is another offering that we launched earlier this year, back in April. Mind Companion Self-Care is essentially a self-paced, self-guided tool for you to either engage in solely, or it can function alongside, kind of concurrently with any kind of counseling sessions that you may be in. The beauty of it is it is self-paced, self-guided. The background is kind of evidence-based support, so cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and positive psychology are kind of the underlying sciences behind the tool. But the beauty of it, again, is it's self-paced, it's self-guided. So if someone isn't necessarily 100% sure that they want to engage with a counselor but are looking to improve their mental well-being, this could be a great starting place for someone. The nice thing as well is you can also work through multiple programs at once. So you can address your anger, kind of concerns that may be populating, as well as sleep at the same time. So definitely a great benefit. Again, it's available through the Resources for Living website. So to kind of get into user experience, what happens when you call? So when you call Resources for Living, we have consultants on our end that are answering the phone. It's a live answer. And our team, again, presumptive eligibility, you tell us, that you're with ICUBA, and we're immediately engaging. Our team is there to provide in the moment support. So if you are calling us with an emergent need, we can quickly get you on the phone with an on-staff clinician to talk through the well-being need. Certainly, if there is a need to pivot to local resources because of threats of harm, we will engage there as well. But the counselors are really on site to support you in those times of need. So we do have clinicians on staff. For more of those routine calls, we're going to ask motivational interviewing style questions to make sure that we're obviously meeting the present need, but also kind of peeling back the layers to understand any kind of root causes that may be there. So that way, we're addressing the need at hand, but also from a consultative approach, making sure that we are addressing, underlying areas of opportunity for you to engage with our program. So I like hypotheticals. If somebody calls in because they're stressed, through our motivational, interviewing, we uncover that that stress is really being caused by financial needs. We're able to provide you resources from a counseling perspective, but we're also able to pivot you to our financial resources as well. So that way we're meeting the root cause there, of that being the financial. We can also, again, pivot to work life as well. So really just want to make sure that we're looking at things from a whole person approach, and how we cater to your needs. So then lastly, but certainly not least, is how you access the program. So services are available 24/7. Again, we do have clinicians on staff 24/7 as well. The phone number is 877-398-5816. The website, resourcesforliving.com. Username is ICUBA. Password is the phone number. Again, 877-398-5816. You also can access the Talkspace benefit through resourcesforliving.com, or if you prefer, you can go to talkspace.com/resources-for-living. So that's really the program here in a nutshell. Absolutely appreciate the time, but certainly want to open the floor to any questions that may have entered the chat, or Josh, if you want to allow folks to ask questions, we can certainly do that too.
Absolutely. I've been hitting the questions as they've come through the chat. I think I've gotten all of them that have come through so far, but certainly if anyone has any questions that they would like to either submit to the chat now or even unmute your mic and ask, we're more than happy to answer.
Hi, I have a quick question. I'm not sure I understood the difference between the in-person mental health well-being option and the virtual one. Is it through different like, do you access it differently to book these, or?
Yeah, so when you call Resources for a Living, if you want to meet with a counselor face to face, and typically that's the so let me back up. Our goal is to meet you where you are, right? So if you prefer telephonic counseling, or prefer a televideo session, that would be part of the motivational interviewing that our team is working with on the front end, to make sure that we're aligning you with an appropriate counselor in our network. If you want to do chat, they're going to immediately direct you to Talkspace, but really the choice is yours in how you engage, and oftentimes the counselor is going to be amenable to if they're engaging face to face, like in person. Oftentimes they're going to have the capability to meet with you virtually or telephonically as well.
Okay.
So
And
again,
I am so sorry to ask, but
no,
does
please.
it mean, so because I had been using Talkspace
Yeah.
because I thought it was only option for virtual or chat. I mean, all virtual face to face, online, or chat. I wasn't aware of the in person, so I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, so we can definitely do in-person counseling. Like sitting, in the, and when I mean in person, face to face, like truly that traditional model of care that one, when one thinks of counseling, like sitting at the clinician's office, having conversation. So that's certainly the most traditional model that we have. Living in the world that we live in today, with Zoom and WebExes being part of our everyday lives, oftentimes those counselors that have the capability to meet with someone face to face, like in person, have that capability to meet with folks through televideo as well.
Okay.
And that may be an option. So, again, our goal is to meet you where you are in your mental well-being journey, and our network is certainly there to accommodate.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Hey, Aaron, we had question come through. We have two.
Okay.
The first is what happens after the free sessions, if more sessions are needed. And then we
Yeah.
have one that's a little more in depth. So I'll wait until you're done with that one
Okay.
and hit you.
Yeah. So that's a great point that I didn't touch on. So you do have access to, again, 6 sessions today. Come April 1, you'll have access um, to 8 sessions per issue per year. In those instances where the need continues, the presenting issue remains after those 6 sessions, 8 sessions. In as of today, the benefit will we will work to transition you into your behavioral health care, whether that is through ICUBA and Aetna, or ICUBA and Blue Cross. Um, come down the road, but in short, um, we will work with the individual who has maximized their session benefit, and work with them and their depending on who their insurer is, for medical coverage, behavioral health coverage, to ensure that we transition care over to and into that benefit.
Don't worry, Aaron. It happens to all of us. It's got to happen at least once.
Right? I'm sorry. The Let me make sure
This
I'm,
means
I'm muted
they're doing
before I
their
yell.
job. They're doing their job.
Let me make sure I'm muted before I holler at them. Sorry about that. So again, we will work with your whoever your medical your medical benefit is, to ensure we transition care for ongoing services. Um, if for some reason you don't have insurance coverage, we can work to find you community resources as well to meet your need.
And then the next question is a little bit more nuanced, and it's about specific resources for parenting a special needs child. Someone might have a dependent child turning 18 soon and might need help with applying for SSI and Medicaid.
Yeah.
Are there resources available for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so if you call Resources for a Living, our work life team can absolutely help with doing that research and pointing you in the right direction, on those services. With my wife being a family law attorney, I have some insight there into some of the work she does. So you can certainly call Resources for a Living if you need to obtain a guardianship. We can get you in touch with, again, that free 30-minute consultation, and then the reduced fees as well, if a guardianship would need to be put in place.
Perfect. So, I mean, in short, really, if there is a situation that you can think of where you might need assistance, give Resources of Living a call, explain the scenario, and they can start helping you source the resources
Absolutely.
that you'll need, or let if they can or can't, help, or how they can help.
Right.
Do we have any additional questions or anything else that we can touch on for anyone else? All right. I don't see anything in the chat, Aaron. And someone did ask for the slides. Just for reference, I did send the slide deck via the meeting chat. So if you're able to access the meeting chat, you can download the PDF from there. I'll also share this with each of the member schools HR benefits teams so that they can post it on their internal sites, and we will post this on the iHub, ICUBAbenefits.info. It's kind of our companion resource site for benefits. We'll post this there within the next few days, and you'll be able to download it there. But it's in the chat right now. And on that note, I thank you all. Aaron, thank you very much. This was a great presentation. I appreciate all of the information. There's a lot of good stuff. And I thank everybody for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, and the winner of the poll was Wellness Matters.
Right.
46%.
Very good.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Have a great one.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.